Hey guys, it's Robert again. I want to say thanks for coming to this channel. If you are new here, please check out my videos that I have, and if you do like it, please subscribe. I'm with my oldest son Jesse here because we're going to be talking about something we want to do a DIY and review. So what are we talking about, Jesse?
The bump stops.
So they're bump stops, and they are made by Duro Bumps. I will put the link for their website below in my description, but you can see here, I don't know, I'm going to compare it later to what a stock bump stop looks like. But I can tell you right now, it is a huge difference. Just take a look at these bump stops.
This one's the front bump stop.
Yeah, these are the front ones, and what I have in my hand are the rear ones. And what bump stops do is what they sound like. They stop the bump. But the question is like, why do you need them? Well, with the stock bump stops, if you're going over a harsh bump, you're going to really slam, and it's going to be very harsh off-roading or on-roading. It just depends on what you're doing. This is a special rubber that acts a little bit different, so when it hits that surface, it's going to absorb it and not be so shocking. So you generally don't want to hit the bump stops, but because there's times you can't avoid it, you want to be in comfort and also safety, because when it hits the bump stop, it could be a little bit over jarring, and it could, make you out of control for a second. So that's another reason for that. So we're going to be installing these bump stops soon, so stay tuned, guys. We'll be back. So there's OEM bump stop, and here's the aftermarket bump stop. This one's going to come with some Loctite and a bolt that's going to go here. So we're going to take that one out. Well, that's pretty simple. If you have more rust or an older truck, you gotta get some penetrating fluid on that bolt. Unfortunately, I guess it's new enough, being 2 years old and being in SoCal, it's not too bad. A lot of turning. There it is. A little bit longer too, but this is a two hardness or 2 level durometer rubber. So when it hits, it's going to be a little progressive. I need a socket. What am I doing? So get this here. Put it through here. Make sure I got Loctite right here real quick. Stick it in. Right there. Break this off. Let's put thread locker this way, all the way down. Alright, so we got thread locker profusely. Got it. See how long I can get. Oh, I got it. Prop that, then I can get that out. Nice and snug. Boom, side one is done. Again, here's the difference between the two. Big difference. So when it hits that bump stop, or when it hits that arm, it's not going to be so shocking when it does. Let's get to the other side. Now this side, you feel the stiffness. I'm gonna spray some penetrating lube in here. Something going on. Jeez. Yep, that's better. Yep. So it feels like it's kind of stuck. Spray some penetrating lubricant in there. Tip of the day. All right, put the wheels back on. They're all set. So you can see the difference. This is for lifted trucks. This is not the standard height, by the way. This is for a taller lifted truck, not stock. But you can see the difference as far as bump stops height showing right there. And again, it's like a 2 durometer type A of bump stops. When it hits, it's not going to hit the same harshness as you were to hit here. It's going to absorb and then finally hit a little bit more harder or firmer. So it should be a much more cushioner bump when you do hit the bump stops. All right, so generally these U-bolts, you're supposed to change them out because it's a little dusty. They actually do stretch out. So they recommend usually changing U-bolts when you're going to unbolt them apart. But actually I want to get a flip kit later, so I'm going to still use the same ones, but again they advise to always replace it because these things do stretch out. So there's an integrity issue. So the caution is spend a few bucks and replace the U-bolts when you can. Also keep an eye on torque. About 100 miles, retorque them every time you do that, new or used. Now I want to show you how I got the bump stop off here. You can see the U-bolts weren't actually all the way off or removed. You could just kind of move it out the way here to lift it, and I'm trying to do it in one hand, but just pick it up like so. It's gonna fit right where the bolt is for the leaves go, the nuts I should say. I'm trying to do this one hand. Harder. There we go. Scooping that. Move that out the way. Make sure it's on the little retaining nut you can see there. Hook this back up. Now the U-bolts are on both sides. You just bolt these down evenly on the bottom. Torque it down to I think 85-90 pounds, and you're all set. Again, make sure you re-torque it in 100 miles, 50 miles, just to make sure it's good to go. No issues, okay? And again, if you can, replace your U-bolts. In a few weeks since I've had the Duro Bumps in the truck, I can tell it was pretty effective. I went through a dip that I usually go 40 miles an hour to see how it felt, and I can tell that the bump stops actually helped absorb it. Usually when I hit and bottom out, you could feel an abrupt slam And with these Duro Bumps, I could tell it did hit, but it was much softer. It shouldn't hit as often as soon as I fix my rear with some leaf packs and my longer shocks. But right now, it's going to make a difference as soon as I get that done. So check out the link in the description and also the coupon code, so you can save a few bucks if you're interested in it. I haven't heard anybody in any social media, including Tacomaworld, that has any negative points about these bump stops. And as I mentioned earlier, it looks like they got a patent pending, so they must be doing something right. So let me know what bump stops you guys got, or if you guys think you need it or don't need it or whatever. Just give me your comments on it, your thoughts on it. I want to say thanks again for watching. Peace out, guys.